Hello, everyone. So we will just wait for 5 more minutes, okay, so that everyone can join. We are expecting few more participants in this particular Guru class. So we will going to start our session at 11:05, okay. So the meanwhile, let's just, talk about something else like, let me know like exactly from which city you belong, okay. So first of all, my name is Manan Parekh and I am the Senior Academic Counselor of Unikaksha. Okay, and I belongs from Jaipur, Rajasthan. So let's see, like every participant in this Guru class, like from which city you exactly belong. So you can just write down on the chat section your city name. You can use the chat section to write down. Okay, so Sai Kiran is from Hyderabad. Perfect. Rest of the participants, I can see there are many participants in this particular Guru class, but only one have answered right now. From which city you belong? Okay, no worries. I guess you are not comfortable in telling that. So just tell me like exactly what you do right now. Like, are you a student or you are a fresher or you are a working professional? What exactly you do right now? So just write down on the chat section. You all can write down on the chat section, like from what exactly you do right now. Okay, so Rehan, you are a front-end engineer. Really good. Very good, Rehan. So others, can I know like what exactly you do right now? Like you are a student or a working professional or a fresher. Okay, Karthikeyan, you are a fresher. Sai Kiran is also a fresher. Okay, good. So let's just wait for a few more minutes. Okay, at 11:05 we will going to start our session. Okay, so just wait for like 11:05, then we will going to start the session. Okay. Yes, Akash, we are just waiting for a few more minutes, like 1 more minute, so that we can start our session. Like few more participants are yet to join right now. So just 1 more minute, then we will going to start our session. Okay, so I guess everyone have already joined. Okay, so we can now start our session. Okay, so I guess let's start. Let me start just by introducing myself again. My name is Manan Parekh, and I am the Senior Academic Counselor of Unikaksha. Okay, and Unikaksha is an online upskillment platform that helps students and working professionals upskill themselves in the tech career with the help of our top mentors and industry-relevant curriculum. So far, we had a positive impact in the careers of 10,000 plus students. And today with this Guru class, we hope to help you in the same manner. So I guess everyone know about the today's topic, which is GitHub. Like GitHub is useful for every developer in the industry, for every person who is doing coding right now. So you're going to learn every basic things about GitHub in this particular today's Guru class. Okay. So are you excited? Let me just know in the comments. Okay. So we will also going to share the certificate of this Guru class with the attendees. Okay. We would like everyone to share it on LinkedIn by tagging Unikaksha, like using hashtags like hashtag Unikaksha, hashtag full stack development, hashtag coding, hashtag learning, hashtag monstack. Okay. So by sharing your certificate, you will demonstrate your commitment to continuous learning and professional growth while also positioning yourself as a standout candidate in the eyes of potential employers and industry peers. So I hope everyone will do the same. It's for your own benefit. Okay. So let me just introduce you about our today's mentor. Like today's mentor name is Swati. She is a senior trainer at Unikaksha, and her journey, she has trained more than 10,000 plus students in different languages and technologies. Okay, she has more than 8+ years of experience in Java full stack development, web development, and more than 2 years as a certified trainer in Java, web, and Python data science. Additionally, she has an extensive background in Java FSD, curriculum development, and training for working professionals. She is the best trainer to guide for this particular Guru class. So let's welcome her, everyone. So yes, Swati, over to you now. You can now just take up the session.
Hey everyone, good morning. I hope you are doing good on a Saturday morning. This is Swati Yadav. I'm the training head at Unikaksha, and I've already been introduced as a senior trainer, so I overlook the training department over here. And let's talk about our today's topic, which is GitHub for beginners. And Git and GitHub are two technologies that every developer should learn about, irrespective of their field, because it's actually very useful. And we are going to talk about that only in our today's session. So if you are a beginner developer, you might think that these two terms means the same thing, Git and GitHub. I mean, like mostly people interchange them, right? But today in this session, I will help you understand that what Git and version control are, what are the basic Git commands that we'll see by the end, and how you can use these features to boost your work efficiency, and how to extend these features using GitHub. So today's session is a beginner friendly, as examples will be very easy to understand, and it will also be a generalized approach. So anyone can follow no matter what your favorite programming language is. So it's like common, in full stack development, as you can see. So in order to start with it, what do we require when you are working with Git, GitHub, and all those things? First, you need a GitHub account that I'll come on to. Then you require Git Bash, or a terminal on your end, any text editor of your choice, a project that you're working on, and then you're good to go and learn the commands for GitHub as well. Now, coming on to the very important thing is FSD, which is full stack development. I hope many of you are aware, already aware of this full stack development. Now, what is the role of version control in full stack development? Anyone? Can you help us understand? What do you understand by this? What is the role of full stack development and version control together? It's all right. Anything, that pops up in your head when you hear full stack development and version controlling? No? Okay. So full stack development encompasses the end-to-end process of building web applications where we cover both the front end and back end technologies. Okay. So as projects they grow in complexity, it becomes crucial, to manage the code efficiently, right? Collaborate seamlessly and ensure the integrity of the entire development process. So this is where your version control systems like Git, you might have also heard about Bitbucket, which also comes later, something which is similar to GitHub. Okay. And that is where your version VCS comes into, and platforms like GitHub, they come into play. So today we'll explore the role of version control into our development process with a particular focus on Git and GitHub, and discuss the advantages they bring to the table. Okay. Why version control matters in full stack development? That is the first question that I have for you guys. Or even better, what do you understand by version controlling? Anyone? What do you understand by version controlling? So version control, which is also known as source control, manages and tracks software code changes. Fine. So it allows multiple developers to work on a project simultaneously while keeping a detailed record of each change. Now, this way, the developers can revert to the previous version if ever necessary and easily merge their work without conflicts. As you know, when you start working, or whether you guys are working professionals, you are already aware of the fact that you work in teams. All right. Yes. Now, the entire team has one project to work on, and each one of us has been given our own module to work, right? Or maybe we are two people working on one module. Once we are all done with our work, we need to merge it later on. Maybe someone else joins the team and they start working on it. So there, this version controlling comes into play. There are several benefits of version control system. Like first is the collaboration itself. Okay. So collaboration means it enables the seamless collaboration between the team members, where it allows them to work on different project paths simultaneously without any conflicts, right? So obviously you're not going to, erase someone else's work and do yours. So there you collaborate, merge things together, merge branches together, later on. So version history, another thing, important usage of version control is maintaining the version history. So it keeps a detailed account of all the changes made to the code base, making it easy to revert to a previous version if required or if ever needed. So could be, there was a functionality which was done earlier in the, development process. And maybe at the later stage, you think that that was a good approach to go by and you want to bring it again. So instead of remembering everything and keeping a tab of everything, you have this version history being maintained. Okay, on your version VCS, which are available. So from there you can pick up the earlier versions. Then it's also a backup. It's also a backup for your code, ensuring you can access previous version if something ever goes wrong. Suppose your whole system has been sacked, it's not working, the data has been lost, your code base is gone, but you still have it on your VCS and you can retrieve it all back with little to no effort. Okay. So those are a few advantages, you could say, where version controlling systems at work. When I talk about Git, now what is Git? Anyone who knows that what is Git? Git and GitHub, different things. Git, what is Git? Just GIT. Anyone think? What is Git? Git is a VCS. It's a version control system which lets you to track changes you make to your files over time. Okay. It's a free open source distributed version control system. Now, what again, distributed version control? What is distributed? What do you understand by distributed version control system? A version control system, basically, if you need to again understand it, is a tool, you use to track, make and manage changes to your software code, whichever you push onto it. It's also called a source control, as I've already mentioned before. It helps every developer out there who's making use of it to store every change they make to a file at different stages, so that they and their teammates can retrieve those changes at a later point of time. There are three types of version control systems. One is your local version control system. Another is your centralized version control system. And the one that I'm talking about is distributed version control system. What is a local version control system, which is LVCS? It is very common and simple to use, but this is quite prone to errors and attacks because the files are being stored on your local system itself. On your local system itself. So the files and folders on your local system comprises to a local version control system. Then there is a centralized version control system, which is CVCS. And in this type of version control, there is a server which acts as a repository that stores each version of the code. Okay. There also in central version control system, it helps the developers to collaborate together. Despite all the helpful collaborations and communication that comes, between the developers, if ever that server goes down, even for a few seconds, then everything gets corrupted. Okay, so that is a big problem because you are maintaining a copy, you need all of your data to be available, and if ever the server goes down, everything is gone, right? So now the thing comes, which is the distributed version control system, which is DVCS. And this is the latest and most commonly used type of version control system these days. So in DVCS, all the developers, they have a full backup, the clone or the copy of all the data in the server itself. And this means that whenever the server is down or faulty, you can still work on your project. You can make copies or you can back those repositories up to the server to restore them. So when you are using a distributed version control system, many developers can work together on a project, and one popular version control, distributed version control, is Git. Okay, and it is a free open source distributed version control system that you can use to track changes in your files. You can work on all type of projects. Also, please remember GitHub, they are not just, relevant to developers. It is for all. It is open for all kind of files and storage, whichever you require. So it's not like only if I'm a developer, then only I can use it. Yes, it is helpful for developers a lot, but but even researchers use GitHub, okay, and these Git repositories. So it's not like that it's only relevant to maybe an IT field. No, it's not. Okay, it's for all. It's a version control system. It's a, it's a storage system which helps you to keep a backup, maintain your copy, shared copies, work in collaboration. So it's open for all kind of thing. Okay, helpful for all, for anyone. But yes, for developers, it has become a necessity to work on it. That is one thing. All right. Now coming back to GitHub. I was told that Git is GitHub. Now let's understand what is GitHub then. Now, GitHub is an interface. And what's an interface? Which basically lets you interact, So it's an interface where you store your Git repositories, track and manage your changes effectively from the interface or from the application itself. So it gives access to the code and to various developers as well. Okay, working on the same project. It's an online hosting service for your Git repository. Once you put them up, you can host them up on GitHub, make it available for others to use. So if you ever accidentally mess up some code in your project, while making some changes into it, you can easily go back to the previous stage where the mess has not occurred yet and retrieve the code again. So GitHub is an interface, it's an application that you can say, okay, which help you to maintain, to work with your VCS, Git. Understood this difference, everyone? Yes? Any confusion in Git or VCS? So let's move forward then. Now the thing is, by why to use this GitHub, right? But I don't want to use this GitHub. Where will it be useful to me? I don't know anything about it, right? You might be thinking one more thing to learn. This development is going to make me learn one more thing, right? But it is actually useful. And let's see the areas where it is useful for us. So there are many reasons that you should learn and use GitHub in your everyday development life. But let's take a look at a few of the things that where it is useful, like effective project management. So GitHub is a place where your Git repositories are stored. Again, emphasizing on it. GitHub makes it easy for the developers, for the team which are working on the same project, but in different locations, to be on the same page. So they know, right, what the other people is working on, what the other person is actually working on, and what are the changes that he's brought in, what are the new, code that has been pushed in. So all of them are at the same page, right? They can see that. So with GitHub, you can easily track and manage the changes you have made and check on the progress you've made in your project. Easy collaboration and cooperation. So with GitHub, developers from all over the world, they can work together on a project without having any problem, right? From anywhere you can actually access it. So it's not limited ki nahi bhai, you are in just one, at once sitting at one space, then only you can collaborate on your project. We have teams, working from US and India together, and still we are able to work on the same project through these controlling systems only. Okay. So it helps in easy collaboration and cooperation among the teams. It's open source, it's free. The next is it's open source. It is free for using, and this means that developers can easily access different types of code and projects which they can use in their own learning and developing their skills. Okay, so it's free of cost. I said, right, it's a hosting service. So suppose you worked on a project, even for us as well, at our own, in our own company, we do this. Like we have projects, we've built those projects, we've hosted those projects. And once those projects are hosted, we make it public. So anyone, those who want to learn those things, they can, share our code and see those. Okay, you can even clone that, and copy the code, have it on your system, work on those. So that is what open source means. It's, you can learn from there, you can develop your own skill. There are projects which are available for developers, something that you are supposed working on, any project, maybe any data science project, any FSD project, and you need help. So those things, all of these repositories are already there that you can share with the world. The versatility is the next thing, and this attribute of GitHub is very important because GitHub is not just a web interface for only developers. That is what I said. It can be used by almost all the other fields, by designers, by writers, by maybe architects, just to share their things or collaborate, work in a team environment. Track the history of the project as well. It's not only just limited to development. Okay, that is the thing. All right. So let's have a first poll.
So yes, guys, everyone have a poll right now. So just select whatever you think the answer is. Still like 50% of the people have to answer this question. So we are going to just see like whoever is, attentive in this particular Guru class. We will just wait for 15 more seconds for this question. Then we will going to end this poll. Five more seconds, guys. Yes, I guess we can end this poll now. Perfect. So like around like 86% have participated and everyone have selected true. So Swati, you can now tell like, is this a right answer or not?
Sure. Yeah, that is correct. It is an online hosting service for Git repositories. So all of them who, ticked on the true percent, that is the correct answer. Now I'll move to the next thing, which is Git setup. What do you need to have to, get started with working on Git? So the first thing that you need is to download Git itself. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen and show you what you can do over here. Just a minute. So this is your Git basically. Okay, you can go and simply just write on your browser Git download, and the first thing which comes from gitscm.com downloads. You can download it for your particular, environment, which is either Mac, Windows, or Linux, whichever you are using. Okay, so you can click on that and you can download this. You can even, have those, and you can even, upgrade by using this. If you already have Git installed, so go to Bash and update your Git if it's an older version. So first thing first is to just go and have it downloaded on your system. So whether it's Windows or something. So this is the place from where you will be downloaded. I already have it, so I'm not going to do it again. But if you'll click on it, your download will start. Okay, so whichever system you have, so based on that, just click on that. So if I go on Windows, see, I have so many kinds of, things. The first link which is there, which is click here to download the latest. I need to download this one. Anyone, maybe for Windows, you are going to go over here. For Mac, click on the Mac one. For Linux, go to Linux. Okay. All right. So whenever the download is complete, then you just simply go and install it. Simple. When this download is complete, double click on it and install. And Git will be installed on your system. Okay. All right. After the installation, the next thing that you need to make sure is to check whether it is perfectly installed on your system or not. I'll move to that in just a bit before I show you GitHub. Okay. I might already be signed in, but for people, those who are not on GitHub, you need to sign in before you start working on it. Okay. So once you've downloaded and installed Git, you also need to have GitHub. Okay, your account basically. It's taking a little, I think. Yeah, I am already logged in. 1 minute. Okay, so you might be seeing something like this. Sign up for GitHub. Go to sign up for GitHub. Okay, or give your username over here. Give your email address. So on which email I do not have. So I'm just putting some, as a sample. And then this starts, okay? Then you need to fill this questionnaire, create a password, give a password over here, continue, and then there will be a short puzzle and you will sign up. Please, everyone, you can go ahead. For people, those who do not have a GitHub account, that you sign up. Once you've signed up, then you'll have an email verification. And after that email verification, you can sign into your account. Internet's a bit slow today, I suppose. Then you will come to your own, GitHub, and you will see different repositories, whichever you've created or not. Then you'll see a new repository to create, and I'll come to that part later. But first, I need you to download and install Git, and also to sign up on GitHub. All right. So that is the first step. That is setting up a pure Git. Okay. So once that's done, then let's open up Git Bash. So after you've downloaded Git, you can go to your search on your Windows search. And from there, you can write Git Bash. Okay. It will open up a terminal, a Git terminal. So I'll again share the screen and will show you. It's a simple terminal. If you're on Windows, you'll have Git Bash. On Linux and Mac, you have your terminal, that you can work on. Simple. Is my screen visible then, everyone? Now I am in my own, Git Bash. I've opened up the Git Bash after installation, downloading, and everything. Okay. Then let's get into working with a little bit of commands and everything over here. Okay. A minute. The first command that we'll be seeing is just to check whether I've downloaded this Git well or not. You can check for Git -version. So if it shows you a version, that means you've downloaded it well. All right. Now it is after your download and installation is complete. So if Git was installed successfully on your computer, it should display the current version of Git, which is that I can see Git version 2.41.0 Windows 1. Okay. And that means I've successfully have this over here. Now, how to configure the Git? Okay, so we'll move on to the configuring of Git. I see someone has raised hands. Anyone? Okay. So now after the installation and everything, this is done. Git version is done. Then you need to configure Git. Now let Git know who you are. So that is the part of configuration process. And this is very important for version controlling. But it should know, right? Who is controlling this? Whose code is this? Who is pushing this? So you need to configure the Git. Okay. So here to configure Git, the command is git config. I'm making it as global. Then first you give your username. So whichever, you have your username. So I have the username as Swati other one. Very well. So I've given that configuration. Then your email. Okay. Please remember to use an email account with which you have your GitHub account registered on. Okay. Global user email. Mine was okay. So I have done the configuration part, and here global that you see, it is to set the username and email for every repository on your computer. Okay. Now, once I've done with this, by right now I'm working on my local environment. I'm not pushing anything from the GitHub. Okay, it's not overworking on the remote things. I'm only on my local environment. Okay, so here the next thing is, suppose let's go and create a new folder for our project. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to change my directory. Okay, so I have a directory already up for our today's session, so I'm going to change my directory to that. Abhi I'm working on my simple one, okay? The default, which is the user Swati Yadav, and I have another directory, the folder where I want to reach and then work on there. So let me just do this. My directory is GitHub and I want to reach till there. Now remember, whenever you are working on Git, this Git bash and the commands, this that you put, the locations that you put, which is always with the /, okay, even the starting and the end that you put, you need to put a /. Most of the time, people, they make this mistake and then they get errors like repository do not exist, folder does not exist, there is no such directory, and so on. So remember, this is /. If there are spaces in between your names of your folder, then you need to escape that with a \. Okay. Now I am inside my directory, which is GitHub. Okay. And then inside this, I want to create a new folder, suppose. Now, what is the command, anyone? Do you know the command to create a new folder from command line? Very basic. Anyone? What is the command to create a new folder from command line? Make directory, right? Which makes a new directory. Suppose mkdir and okay, now I have this particular directory, which is Guru project. I want to change it to this. I want to get inside this and I'll be initializing my Git inside this particular project that I've created, okay, or a new folder which I've created. So now I'm inside this. Then the next thing is that you need to initialize your Git. Again, very important thing. So once you've navigated to the correct folder, I need to initialize the Git. Okay. Git knows that it should watch this folder you initiated it on. So that's why wherever you want your Git to be working on, you need to initialize the Git on it, and that in that particular folder. So initialization is very simple, Git init. So it's an empty Git repository and it has been initialized. So once it is initialized, you can check, you'll have this .git kind of folder appear up after initialization process. Okay. So this creates a folder to keep track of all the changes. It's a hidden folder which keeps tracks of all the changes which are there. So once I have created this first local Git repo, which is there, but it is currently empty. There is nothing inside it. Okay. So I'm going to go and add some files into it. I'll be adding one index.html into it. It's a simple index.html file, nothing else. So with some of the other text that I'll write inside it. Okay, let's do list. So you'll see I've added the file, which is index.html. It's a very simple file, nothing much inside it. Could be khas, there is nothing written inside it, okay? Not much. So it's only the title. I'll show you if you want that as well. Then in that, I'll write some heading and a paragraph. Suppose let's show you what I've been writing inside it. This is the index.html file. If the screen has loaded, which I've written, it's a very basic index.html file, which is there with nothing much inside it. And I've saved it inside the same particular folder, which I've created, which is Guru project. Okay. With just a simple title, a heading, and a paragraph inside it. After I've listed, ls is to list, the files and folders which are inside a particular directory. So after I've listed it out, I'll see that after saving index.html, it is showing me that it contains one file, which is index.html. Why my .git has not been shown over here? Because .git is a hidden file. Okay, it's a hidden, what you say, directory, that's going to track all the changes. It's hidden. So that's why it's not been shown over here in the output of ls. All right. So that is one thing. How to add this? Now, once I have this, you can also check the git status. Again, moving to the command. Okay, so the next command which I'll run is git status. Now, git status means what is happening currently, okay, or what you've done. Now, Git is aware of the file, that you have this particular file, which is index.html, which is a newly created file, but you've not added it to the repository yet. You have that file inside the project, but that is not up, or, that has not been pushed to the repository. So files in your Git repository, they are in two stages, okay? One is the tracked stage and another is the untracked stage. As you can see over here, it is in an untracked stage right now, untracked file. Okay, that means it is in an untracked stage. Now, what does that mean? So track means that files that Git knows, about and are added to the repository, which are already added to the repository, and the Git is aware that this file belongs to the repository. Untracked means files that are in your working directory, which are there in your present working directory, but you've still not added it to the repository. Now the next things comes. When you first add, and how do you add those files into the repository? And that is done through another stage, which is called a staging environment. Now, one of the core functions of Git is that is the concept of staging environment and the commit. Okay, so as you are working, you may be adding, editing, and removing files. But whenever you hit a milestone or you finish a part of the work, you should add a file to a staging environment. Now, what is staging environment? Anyone? What would be staging environment? So staging files are those files that are ready to be committed. You've added that, let's say, into a kind of a queue, and you've made the changes into it. And now you've given a command that needs to be added to a repository once the changes are done, but they still need to be saved. That confirmation comes only when you commit. Okay. So only when you commit, then only the confirmation is there that bhai, this is done. Okay. This has been added. Okay. For further utilization. Okay. So that is your staging. So for now, we are done with index.html. So we can add it to, the staging environment. So to add it to the staging environment, we do git add, and then the name of the file, which is index.html. So now it has been added. Okay. If there was any error, so that would have shown an error over here, but now it has been added. Okay. Once you've added this, now let's check the Git status again. So changes to be commit. Notice the change in the status now. Earlier, there was untracked file. Now it shows changes to be committed, that there is a new file, which is index.html, that has to be committed. All right. Now the thing comes where we commit the file. Now, since we have finished the work, we are ready to move from stage to commit for, into our repository now. So adding commits keep track of the progress and changes as we work. So Git considers each commit as a save point. You're saving it as a save point, okay? And always, whenever you are committing, please include a message over there. Sometimes when we are working on the interface on a, on the UI, there we forget to, give these comments over there in every commit statement that we have. But please remember to put it. It is useful for tracking these changes afterwards. Okay. So if I go ahead and do git commit m, and then suppose first release of HTML file. So now it shows you that git commit first release, 1 file change, 16 insertions are done, create more, this. That means it's been done. Okay, it's been done. So when you can even commit without staging phase. Sometimes it works very well over here, sometimes it doesn't. So it's always best that you first add it to a staging environment, your files, your changes, and then you move to the commit stage. Okay, and then you commit all those files back. Understood? Now there are some short status flags. Okay, like modified for M. M means modified, you are modifying it. Then the A is that means you are adding the files to the stage. Okay, D means that there are deleted files and so on. Question mark comes, so that means that is untracked files. Okay, so that is something. Sometimes you might want to see the log of all the commits that you've done. So go ahead with git log command, which is there. So it shows you the logs. Who has done is, who is the author. See my username and email. Here it is useful. Kisne kiya, who was there, So for that author purpose, you need to configure your git earlier. Okay. Another important command that you'll see is git help command. Now, if you are having trouble remembering commands or options for commands, then you can use this git help. But obviously, everyone is human. You will not be able to remember each and everything which comes in. And sometimes you might want a reference, So there you can see this help. So there are a couple of different ways in which you can use this help command. One is where we use it with a command itself. That means I do not remember what a commit means. So I'll write git commit help. Okay, and it will give you all the available options for that specific command. And one is to see all the possible commands, which is git help all. So I'll show you git help all. So all the commands which are there, all of them come. All right. And then you can pick this up and you can study about them, utilize in your project workings and howsoever. Okay. Now, another means I'll be stopping, as I promised, that this is a beginner level of, session, and I would like to have it being an extended version control session. So maybe next time we meet and I'll continue up the same discussion. All right. So currently, I'm going to wind up the session till here. So version controlling systems like Git and your collaboration platforms like GitHub, they play a very vital role in your full stack development. As developers, this is one thing which I also believe that you should be aware of. And it's only not just in the knowledge of programming, the languages that the DSA that you've practiced, but you should also be aware about the version controlling systems, as they provide the necessary tools and infrastructure for your efficient code management, seamless collaborations that we've talked about, streamlining deployment process. So by leveraging Git and GitHub, full stack developers, we can work together more effectively, ensure the code integrity, and enhance the overall quality of the applications. Embracing this VCS in full stack development is a very crucial step towards building robust, scalable, and maintainable web applications. All right. If you guys have any questions for me, I'm open up, the session is open for Q&A. Can we have the second poll, please?
So this is the second question we have. whatever you think the answer is, just select it. We will just wait for 5 more seconds for this particular question. Then we will going to end this question poll. Okay, so I guess we can now, the poll is ended. Perfect. So in this today's Guru class, we have a special like mentor over in this particular Guru class. His name is Ravindra. Okay, he has 7 years of experience in certified career coach and corporate trainer and learning and development specialist. Ravindra has acquired expertise in designing and delivering highly effective training programs. Okay, so in this today's Guru class, he will just going to take few more minutes, like to tell you about, well, like additional things which we can do using GitHub. Okay, so let's welcome Ravindra Singh in this particular class. So yes, Ravindra sir, you can now just take it up. So he's just joining. I guess he's facing some network issues. So just wait for 1 more minute. So he will be here.
In the meanwhile, Manan, can we have the next poll?
Yes, yes. No worries. So here is the third question. Okay, you can just like whatever this question is, Git works on a 3-tier model: working directory, staging area, and like a local repository. So whatever, like if you think it is true, just select true. If you think it is false, just select false. So Swati will going to tell like what is the correct answer afterwards. Five more seconds for this particular poll, then we will going to end this. Okay, so poll, like the poll have been ended. So Swati, you can now tell like what is the correct answer for this question.
So the correct answer is the first one. So kudos to the people that have chose true. Yes, the Git works on a 3-tier model. There is a working directory, which is a current working directory, then the staging area, and then also a local repository, which is there.
Perfect. So I guess Ravindra sir. Okay, so meanwhile, I'm just let me just introduce you again about Unicaksha. As everyone know, like Unicaksha is an online educational platform which provides different programs like full stack development and all. Like in today's session, you learned GitHub, right? GitHub is also used in full stack development to deploy your project over there. Okay, so I'm just launching a poll. Okay, in this poll there is a question: are you interested? So the question is like according to like we will gonna give you a free one-on-one personal counseling session. It is completely free. We will going to hear you what exactly you are doing right now and what is best for your own future. Okay, we will guide you what exactly is best for you. Okay, so I'm just launching the poll. Whoever thinks like they just need a this particular counseling call, so just select yes in that particular poll. And if you think like you don't require it, just select no. I'm just suggesting you just select yes because it will really going to help you. You're going to know more about what is full stack development, how GitHub can be used in full stack development, or I can say what basically best thing for your own future. Okay, so let's just launch the poll. So the poll have been launched. Okay, we will wait for this poll for around 30 seconds. Okay, so whoever thinks like they need a career counseling session, it is completely free. Okay, there no one is going to charge anything from you. So it will really going to help you. It will going to like we are going to tell you what exactly best for your own future. We have helped more than 5,000 students to get their perfect thing for their own future. Okay, so it will going to help you also. Only 50% have been participated yet. Let's wait for a few more candidates.
Thank you, Manan. So meanwhile, others are responding. For some reason, I cannot join as a host, guys. I'm so sorry for that. You would not be able to see my face. But yes, behind the scenes, that's my voice, right? So I welcome everyone to this exciting Guru class from Unikaksha. My name is Ravindra Singh. I'm a career coach having 7 years of experience. I have counseled more than 2 million students till the date and have helped more than 93% people start their career in IT field. So what we have learned today is about the GitHub, the Git, and the repository. Why it is important for a developer, right? So a quick question to everyone, and Manan, you can help me, with the numbers that are reflecting on the screen because I do not have the access to the data right now. So how many people here who have been attending this Guru class comes from IT field or are planning to go into IT field? Just raise your hand, guys.
Yes, so just raise your hands so that we can see. So, sir, around 4 of the candidates are raising their hand.
Okay, great. So now, guys, as you know that IT industry is really booming, right? India ranks third in the world in terms of IT startup, and very soon we are going to climb to the second position as well, right? So currently there is a huge demand of developers in the market, right? Uh, you know that people or developers, maybe a software developer, an application developer, a web developer, or an API developer working in big tech giants like Microsoft, Adobe, Google, Oracle. They're working on different positions, right? SD1, software development engineer 1, software development engineer 2. So if we talk about their salaries, SD1, their starting salaries are 18 lakhs per annum, 25 lakhs per annum, 35 lakhs per annum. By the time they've reached SD2 or SD3 positions, companies are paying as much as 1 crore, 1.5 crores per annum, right? These are the salaries, and these are the very basic salaries of developers nowadays. What is the reason? Why do these developers get so much of salaries, right? So there are multiple reasons behind that. The first one that we would want to take into consideration is the demand versus the supply. Okay. So supply of developers, there is a shortage in the market, right? When you want to work with the tech giants, you always need to have update knowledge of technologies, frameworks that are being utilized in the market, right? And secondly, you should be someone good with logical skill sets, right? So we have a very few developers amongst us having good logical and technical skill sets both. right? And as I said, supply versus demand, there is a shortage. So to meet that demand, to attract people towards working with these big tech giants, they offer huge salaries, right? Now the question is coding tough or is coding easy? It's not that tough as it sounds or seems, right? Coding is not tough, guys. Anyone can do it. Someone coming from a tech background, someone not coming from a tech background, anyone who has learned, they can do it very easily, right? Having said that, if you are ready to be the part of IT workforce wherein you want to have a high paying and a sustainable job, right? What you need to do is you need to upskill yourselves, right? Align your knowledge with the industry. Can anyone tell me what frameworks are used or currently being used for development? Are we still using JavaScript, HTML, CSS? Are we still using the old ways, or there are new frameworks that are being utilized by the developers in the market? Can you write your answer? What technical stacks, what frameworks are being used for development, for front end, for back end, for database maybe? Manan, you can let me know if someone is writing any response in the chat.
Sure, Ravinder sir.
So guys, बहुत सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन है, कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजीज, कौन से फ्रेमवर्क्स अभी यूज कर रही है इंडस्ट्री मार्केट में? अगर आपको फ्रंट एंड पर काम करना है तो क्या यूज कर रहे हैं, बैक एंड पर क्या यूज कर रहे हैं डेवलपर्स, डेटाबेस के लिए क्या यूज कर रहे हैं डेवलपर्स? इफ यू नो द आंसर, जस्ट राइट इट डाउन. Any responses in Manan?
Not yet, Ravinder sir.
Okay. So guys, this simply signifies, इससे पता चलता है कि आप लोगों को अभी वो नॉलेज भी नहीं पता है, right? And this is not your fault, to be very honest, right? Your mentors from whom you are studying in your regular universities or colleges, they have learned these things 10 to 15 years back, and you're learning the same things from them. They haven't even updated themselves or updated their curriculum, right? And this is very common. Universities, they do not have the up-to-date curriculum with them. So you're still learning the old things that were there in effect for development. You're starting with one programming language. Now, at some point in time, you might be able to learn Python or Java if you're lucky enough, right? You're learning data structures, algorithms, solving 10, 15 questions during your entire academics. You're learning JavaScript, HTML, CSS. That these three frameworks were founded in 1995. They have laid the foundation of web development. Yes, they're important to learn the basics, understand the concepts. But now for development, we are dependent on frameworks like MERN frameworks, MongoDB, which is a database, Express JS means a JavaScript based backend framework, right? Node.js, again, for backend, it's a JavaScript based framework. Then React for frontend, React.js, right? So industries are using MERN stack or MERN technologies. Do you get to learn that? No. Now you tell me, post completion of your graduation, is it possible to land a high paying and a sustainable job with the knowledge, with the traditional knowledge you have at hand? One programming language, basics of object-oriented programming, basics of DSA, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and then one project. If you're lucky enough, there will be a project. If you're not, there will be no projects. With that knowledge and information, would you be able to secure a package even of 10 lakh rupees per annum? The answer is no. That's a bit challenging. So the answer, the solution to this problem is you need to upskill yourselves. स्कूल के टाइम पर को मैथमेटिक्स नहीं आती थी, फिजिक्स नहीं आती थी, केमिस्ट्री नहीं आती थी, we would go and get ourselves tuitions, right? So that we can learn the concepts, we can understand the basics, and then work on the advance of it, learn advanced theories, right? The same works here. If you're planning to get into IT industry, you need to learn what is being utilized in the market, and you need to adapt to those changes, right? So if you're planning to learn how to become a job ready candidate, what all skill sets you need to require in order to become a job ready candidate, how you can crack interviews, right? How you can learn frameworks, how you can work on multiple projects. A GitHub profile is of no good if you do not have a timeline there, a repository of projects. If you cannot copy the code of your projects there, and you only have one project to show to your interviewers, they will not be impressed. You need at least a repository having 10 plus projects, or at least 7 to 8 projects, to show it to your interviewers, telling them that, this is how I have started and this is where I have reached. This is how I collaborate, right? So that gives an impression that tells them that this person knows things. This person is intelligent. This person has the right technical and logical skill set, right? So Unicaksha has developed a full stack developers program that allows you to become a full stack developer within just 26 weeks, wherein Swati, she is the head mentor, and other mentors, a team of mentors, are going to train you in live classes, right? You are not being given any pre-recorded lectures to learn from and then come into classes, right? You will have live classes every single day from Monday to Friday, 3 hours of live classes wherein you are going to interact with the mentors face to face, and you're going to learn effectively, right? You have live doubt classes also throughout the day. You can attend those classes. You can raise your doubts on Discord channel, get those doubts cleared. Work on 10 plus projects, right? Work on a lot of assessments. After every module, there is a toolkit assessment to assess yourself, to see where you stand, to see how effectively you have learned, right? So all that comprises a full stack developers program at Unicaksha, which is kept to deliver 70% practical knowledge and 30% theoretical knowledge, right? So guys, if you are ready to learn and if you are ready to choose Unicaksha as your career partner, right? So currently we are offering scholarships amongst all our courses, right? So what you can do is you can submit your details. Manan, can you quickly roll out the form here? This form is a Google form, guys, wherein you have to enter your details, your name, your email address, your contact number. That is it, right? So once you've registered on our portal, what will happen? You will get a test, a scholarship test, right? And if you secure good marks there, you can, avail exclusive discounts amongst all our courses. Manan, are you there?
Yes, just give me a second. I'm just rolling out that form.
Okay, sure, great. Right? So how many people here want to learn? They want to be the part of IT workforce and not to be the part of regular IT workforce. They want to be the one of the exclusive developers. मतलब ऐसा कुछ करना चाहते हैं लोग कि कंपनीज उनको ढूंढे, उनको कंपनीज ढूंढने की जरूरत ना पड़े. That kind of skill sets, if you want to develop, right, we can really help you. So how many people do we have here who are really planning to start their career in IT field and are very serious about it? Just raise your hand, and Manan, let me know how many people are raising hand and what their names are.
So Akarsh is raising his hand. Anish is raising his hand. And guys, you can just now see the form link in the chat section. Just click on that and write down your details over the form.
Right? Just fill out your details, guys, and you will get an exclusive opportunity to talk to me one-on-one, right? Me being a career coach, I'll be able to help you understand how you can jumpstart your career, right? And what would be the right track for you, right? Doesn't matter whether you're planning to go into artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analysis, cloud computing, or maybe development, full stack development, software development, application development. I can answer all your questions. I have expertise in all these fields. So let's get connected and let's see how we can help you. Does anyone have any questions for me? Just raise your hand. Manan will allow you to unmute and we can have a verbal conversation also if you want to have it right now.
So whoever wants to talk to Ravindra sir right now, just raise your hand. I will unmute you and you can just talk then.
Okay, meanwhile, while others, people are raising hand, Manan, let me just guide you guys. What is the delivery mechanism of our, programs? So as I told you, there are 100% live classes, right? 3 hours of live classes every single day. We have a morning batch and an evening batch. You can choose any batch of your choice. The morning batch runs between 10 to 1 and the evening batch runs between 8 to 11, right? So as per your convenience, as per your availability, you can join any of our ongoing or upcoming batches. Now, it's Monday to Friday, 3 hours of live classes, right? There are multiple assessments. There are multiple projects that you'll be working on, right? There are live doubt sessions that you have to attend. There are 10 plus projects that you'll be working on, right? And once you have completed your learning phase, we have an industry orientation program, which is one of a very unique feature amongst all other edtechs, right? So within this, we give you an opportunity to do a guaranteed internship, right? So that you can learn, you can have hands-on to the tools, right? You can really see how companies work. What would be your role when you are becoming a part of IT workforce, when you are landing a job in one of the organization, and how you are going to perform on your duties, right? So to give you that live, scenario at hand, we give you IO, right? Later, you have better opportunities to land jobs easily, right? So when you do this internship, you get an internship certificate. You get the certificate of completion as well, right? And you're going to learn from mentors like Swati, having 7 to 8 years of experience in development, then having a good experience in training. So we have a team of exclusive mentors coming from industry, having industry experience, right? And they're the ones who are going to train you. So those who have filled in the details will get back to you very shortly, and we will have that conversation one-on-one. Okay. So Manan, is there any question in the chat? Any questions in Q&A?
No, Ravindra sir, there are no questions.
Okay. Great. So we can end this session, guys. Thank you so much for attending. I believe that there would have been a lot of takeaways from today's session in terms of understanding Git and GitHub, right? In terms of understanding how Unikaksha can really help you and kickstart your career in IT field. So with this, I wish you all a very, very best of luck, and wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. And the doors of Unikakshas are always open to you if you are planning to do something fruitful in your life, right? So with this notion, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.